In this video, we'll talk a little bit about integration of even and odd functions. Let's start by looking at the definitions. We'll start with an even function. A function f from some domain from -a to a into R is called an even function if for all x in the domain of f at negative x is equal to f at x. Classic examples of even functions are f at x equals x squared and f at x equals cosine of x. An even function is symmetric about the y-axis. That means that if you reflect the curve through the y-axis, you get the same image. And you can see that with both of these examples. The graph of y equals x squared, that's a parabola. Y equals cosine of x, that's this periodic sinusoidal function. In each case, if you reflect them about the y-axis, you get the same graph. Any power function f at x equals x to the p, where p is an even function, and indeed that's where the name comes from. You can see these graphs here for f at x equals x squared, f at x equals x to the fourth, and f at x equals x to the sixth. These all have a similar shape, and they're all symmetric about the y-axis. They're all even functions. Any function that is symmetric about the y-axis is an even function, even if it's not x to the p for an even number p. For example, f at x equals the absolute value of x is an even function, and here we have a function f at x equals 1 over the square root of 2 pi times e to the negative x squared over 2. This gives us a graph which is the famous bell curve, which is so prevalent in statistics and probability. This function too is an even function, and as you can see, it is symmetric about the y-axis. One nice thing about even functions is that when you integrate even functions over a symmetric domain from -a to a, then you get a very nice simplification. Well, let's just state the theorem. Here it is. If f is an integrable even function, then for any positive number a in the domain of f, the integral from -a to a of f at x dx is equal to twice the integral from 0 to a of f of x dx. We can see that graphically if you look at some randomly selected even function. You have a graph that looks something like this, which is symmetric about the y-axis. The regions defined by the curve to the left of the y-axis have the same area as those regions defined by the curve to the right of the y-axis. Let's just look at what we mean here. So if we look to the left of the y-axis, there's a region here defined by the curve and the x-axis, and there's also a little region over here. Now these correspond to regions on the right side of the y-axis. There's one here and one here. Now since the graph is symmetric about the y-axis, if you reflect it through the y-axis, you get the same picture. And what that means is that each of these two areas to the left of the y-axis have the same area as the two regions to the right of the y-axis. So if you're integrating over the interval from -a to a, you're going to end up with exactly the same thing as if you go from 0 to a, but double that. So we look at this integral from 0 to a, it's the area above the x-axis minus the area below, and if you look from -a to 0, you can see it's exactly the same. There's the area above the x-axis minus the area below, but those areas are the same on the left side of the y-axis as on the right side of the y-axis. So you get the same thing, but it doubles. Let's just verify this for a specific example. Let's show that the integral from -1 to 1 of x squared dx is double the integral from 0 to 1 of x squared dx. And we can just compute both of these individually. So the integral from -1 to 1 of x squared dx, we use the power rule. This is x cubed over 3. And we evaluate the net change from -1 to 1. So what is this going to be? It's going to be 1 cubed over 3 minus -1 cubed over 3, which is 1/3 minus a -1/3, or plus 1/3. And that's 2/3. So that's what you get if you integrate from -1 to 1. Now what about the integral from 0 to 1 of x squared dx? Well, this is the same antiderivative, x cubed over 3, but now we're just going from 0 to 1. So that's 1 cubed over 3 minus 0 cubed over 3. And that is 1/3 minus 0, which of course is just 1/3. And what you'll notice is the integral from 0 to 1, that's 1/3. The integral from minus 1 to 1, that's 2/3, which is twice as much. So the integral from minus 1 to 1 is twice the integral from 0 to 1. Another way to look at this, if I can just change the color of my pencil here, we can take this integral from minus 1 to 1 of x squared dx, and we can write this as the sum of the integral from minus 1 to 0 of x squared dx, plus the integral from 0 to 1 of x squared dx. Now, these two integrals are the same. The integral from 0 to 1 of x squared dx, we just computed that, that's 1/3. But the integral to the left of the y-axis, the integral from negative 1 to 0, that's going to give us the same thing. That's also 1/3. So if you add those two together, you're going to get 2/3. But this integral from minus 1 to 0 has the same value as the integral from 0 to 1. Okay, so that's even functions. What about odd functions? Well, what is an odd function? A function f from minus a to a into r is called an odd function if for all x in the domain of f at negative x is equal to the opposite of f at x. We have some classic examples of that too. F at x equals x cubed and f at x equals sine of x. These also have a certain kind of symmetry. It's called symmetry about the origin. So an odd function is always what we call symmetric about the origin. That means that if you rotate by 180 degrees around the point 0, 0, which is the origin, you end up with the same image. Now, the idea behind the defining equation here, or equality, f at negative x is equal to the opposite of f at x. So the f value gives you the y coordinate. So if you think of x being a positive number, then f at x is what you get, is the y value you get if you move to the right by x units. So suppose that x in our first diagram is right here. So if we move to the right by x units, then we move up by a certain amount, and that amount is f at x. Now, we can also move to the left by x units, and that takes us to negative x, which is right here. So if we move to the left by x units, then our y value is going to be exactly the same, except negative instead. We're moving down instead of up. So it's going to be down here. So this length right here is still f at x. That length is still f at x. But now we're moving down, so the y coordinate corresponding to minus x is minus f at x. And so that's exactly what this equality says. F at negative x is the same as the opposite of f at x. Okay, so that's the idea behind the definition of an odd function. We call it an odd function because any power function f at x equals x to the p, where p is an odd number, is an odd function. And here are some examples of that here. So we have y equals x to the 1, y equals x cubed, y equals x to the 5th. These are all odd functions, and they're all symmetric about the origin. Now, integrating odd functions has a nice property as well over these symmetric regions, and in fact it's even nicer than with an even function. So if f is an integrable odd function, then for any a greater than 0 in the domain of f, the integral from minus a to a of f of x dx is going to be 0. Now, why is that true? Well, the regions defined by the curve to the left of the y-axis, again, they have the same area as those regions defined by the curve to the right of the y-axis, but now they're on opposite sides of the x-axis. So if you look at this image here, we have a region to the right, which is above the x-axis, and we also have a region to the left, but that's below the x-axis. So if you integrate from minus a to a, the regions on the left side are going to cancel out with the regions on the right side, because the areas are the same, but one is below the x-axis and the other is above. So one gives you positive area and the other gives you negative area, so to speak, and they cancel out. Well, let's verify that in an example. Show that the integral from negative 2 to 2 of x cubed dx is equal to 0. Well, x cubed, that's an odd function because it's x to an odd power. Let's just verify it. So the integral from minus 2 to 2 of x cubed dx is equal to, well, we just use the fundamental theorem of calculus. This is going to be x to the fourth over 4 from minus 2 to 2. So that's going to be 2 to the fourth over 4 minus, and now we have a negative 2 to the fourth over 4, which is the same as, well, 2 to the fourth is 16 over 4, minus, and here we have a negative 2 raised to the fourth. Well, negative 2 times itself 4 times is still going to give you positive 16 over 4. So you have 16 over 4 minus 16 over 4, which is 0, which is what we wanted to show.